All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Rocky Top Insider postgame show. This is Ryan Shumpert. I am Rick Butler, standing here on the court of the Dean Dome after Tennessee falls to North Carolina by a score of 100-92. Ryan, this was a game where North Carolina got out to a fast start.
Yeah.
They got out to a hot start. But if you look at the box score, Tennessee was able to close it a little bit in the final 20 minutes. Just kind of give me your perspective of this game. What a wild game, how it kind of shook out.
Certainly. I mean, a game of two halves for sure. And, Tennessee was down 16 by 9 minutes into the game. And it got away from Tennessee very quickly in the first half. As Rick Barnes said many times post-game, he was baffled by the first half. I don't know if you heard this from Rick Barnes. It was also the worst half he's seen a Tennessee team play when he has been the head coach in his 9 years. He reiterated those things a lot.
Right.
And it was a very bad half for Tennessee. And the defense was what stood out about it. No rim protection. Bad rotations leading to a lot of open North Carolina threes, and I give North Carolina a lot of credit. They hit those threes.
They did.
And they were able to attack. I thought Tobe Walker, who didn't play for Tennessee tonight, really put a lot of pressure on Jonas to do. He battled foul trouble and played 8 minutes in the first half. And Tennessee's young big man in Cade Phillips and J.P. Estrella just did not provide any rim protection. So that's kind of the first half. Second half, Tennessee was better on defense. They got a lot of things figured out, and it was the Dalton Connect show.
Yeah, it absolutely was. He finishes with 37 points in the night. He was phenomenal. A little bit of an interesting wrinkle that he started walking the ball down the court there in the second half, but man, he was able to do what he needed to do on the floor to get the ball into the hoop. Unfortunately for Tennessee, though, he does go down with an injury at the end of the game. We will have more on that as the week continues so we can figure out the status of Dalton Connect, but he was fantastic, 37 points.
Yeah, 37 points ties a record from an opposing player in the Dean E. Smith Center. 37 years this place has been open. A lot of really good basketball players have come here, and he got fouled on the play that he got injured on. So if he could have gone to the free throw line to shoot those free throws, all likelihood he would have broken that record. A special performance from him. He, single-handedly willed Tennessee back at least in the respectable distance, if not completely into the game. It never really felt like Tennessee was going to get over the hump. But I will say, everything ran through him offensively for Tennessee in the second half, and he was so good that North Carolina had to use so much effort to try to defend him, which led to him getting a lot of open shots for his teammates. Kai Ziegler hit a corner three right here that got it under single digits for the first time. And then I felt like maybe the biggest moment of when Tennessee felt like they might get back in it, Josiah Jordan-James hit an open three to get it to 7 with, about 3 minutes left. Next possession down, R.J. Davis for North Carolina drilled a contested three with, 1-2 seconds left on the shot clock. Got it back to 10. North Carolina kind of steadied. They, I think, went on a 6-0 run there. And Tennessee, again, made another run, got it back to the single digits, which obviously ended that. I think they even got it lower to 7. They got it to 6 at one point. But it felt like if Tennessee was really going to come back and force overtime and win the game, that Davis shot was kind of the one that all but ended that hope.
Yeah, it was. Tennessee had really found some footing there in the second half, like you had alluded to. They go on a nice little run, and then I believe that was a 5-0 run or something.
6-0, I think.
6-0 run from North Carolina that really kind of took the wind out of the sails. But Tennessee did battle in the second half. They did fight back, but they fell short. Now, Ryan, just kind of broadening out a little bit, big picture. This is the third straight loss that Tennessee's had, although to top 17 ranked teams. Number 1, Kansas. Number 2, Purdue. And number 17, North Carolina. How does this make you kind of think about this team here in the early stretch of the season? Where are you with that?
Yeah, I think the Connect one's such an interesting thing, just of how long he'll be out, because that obviously is a big part of it. It's certainly disappointing. Tennessee played a really bad 40 minutes combined when you talk about the final 20 at Kansas and the first 20 tonight. I think overall I wouldn't be hitting the panic button, especially if Connect's fine long term. But yeah, there's no getting around the fact that this is a disappointing 3 games for Tennessee. But I thought, Rick Barnes was telling in the sense that, he was asked more discouraged by the first half, encouraged by the second half, and he said, we're good. I know we're good, and we just need, get it kind of to get us a tournament type of thing. We just need to be there in the end. And I think the hopes of Tennessee having a lofty, fantastic regular season, I feel worse about, but I look at the pieces that Tennessee has and some of the things that they can do that they haven't been able to do in recent years, and I still think they're encouraging. Santiago Vespi was really bad tonight, only scored 2 points, didn't play more than 4 minutes in the second half, got benched. I think he'll get some things figured out. And I do think this is the best we've seen from Zakai Ziegler all season tonight. He gets to start. I thought, not that he was perfect, but he was closer to what he was last year before he suffered that injury. So certainly a lot of negatives. A third straight loss is just that. Giving up 61 points in a half is that. But it's a long college basketball season. I still like a lot about this Tennessee team. They're missing pieces right now, pieces that I think are going to help this team win down the stretch of the season. I'm maybe not as doom and gloom as most or a lot of people would be right
Sure.
now.
It's early on. It's interesting you bring up Santiago Vescovi. Rick Barnes had a really interesting answer just talking about how he needs the consistency from his veteran player. If you want to go back and watch more of what Rick Barnes had to say, it was a very entertaining press conference. You can go back to right where you're watching this and go and find the Rick Barnes press conference on the Rocky Top Insider YouTube account. But Ryan, I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us right here in Chapel Hill. We'll go back and finish a little bit of our work. But any other kind of final takeaways from Tennessee's loss here to North Carolina tonight?
Yeah, last thing is just Tennessee needs to get healthy, and that's past Dalton Connect. They need Tobey walking back. It's just they're putting a ton on Jonas Adu and the young guys right now. That's the one spot that Tennessee kind of came into the season with not a ton of depth at, and it has been exposed a little bit early with Waka now essentially missing 2 of the last 4 games and being pretty limited in what he could do in the 2 that he did play.
Yeah, certainly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for us right here on the RTI postgame show. As always, this is Ryan Shumpert. I am Rick Butler. You can go and find all of our work over at RockyTopInsider.com. Also, make sure to follow us on socials at Rocky Top Insider. Wherever you are, we are there as well. But thanks for watching our postgame today. For Ryan Shumpert, I'm Rick Butler. Tennessee falls to North Carolina by a score of 100-92 right here in Chapel Hill. We'll see you back for the next game.